What's up, friends? Going to do a demo of this Charlie Christian Leyden ES-300, which was cut away and refinished black, I think, in the 50s. It's a cool little guitar, got the old logo from 1947 last year, and it's a little heavier than you might think, and that is the point of this tonight, is to talk about the difference in these Charlie Christians and their magnet size and the impact on sound. And I'll do that by sampling this one, show some of the pickups related to what's inside along the way, difference in some of the pull pieces, the blades I should say, and then also impact of magnet size. And what's inside this I'll talk about at the end, so you can probably hear what's in there, but it makes sense once I compare this to the little ES-150 behind me that has standard Charlie Christian in it. What you should hear already is this nice rich low. The reason for that is, my theory, when I had a recording king in it with this tiny little magnet, it was quite thin and unbalanced. Then I had the standard Charlie Christian in it, with the normal magnets and resistance of the same bobbin, it suddenly woke up. Surprisingly though, with this lap steel set of magnets, which I took from this lap steel, the low end and mids just suddenly came out of the woodwork, so to speak, and you can hear it. And I guess would say the conclusion is, when you compare magnets this size with two big black magnets that were on this plate taking up the entire space or surface of the plate and about twice as thick, you can imagine that there must be an impact on sound. And while I'm not a scientist, I don't pretend to be, through the experimentation, man, the clarity is still there of the Charlie, but also this nice low end. Tone block 202, by the way, with all the EQ on 12. So that is the ES-300. I'll quickly flip over to the 150 just so you can hear the difference. You may already have noticed that the ES-150 is a smaller body, of course, 16-inch versus a 17-inch. Both solid spruce tops. The weight of that magnet set didn't really drag down the response of the top from the acoustic perspective, but what I think it did do was added the sustain that just goes forever. This magnet's this bobbin's a little more hotly wound, so still a great sound, but if you're in the room, it doesn't have the depth. It's got good low and high, but there's just missing hump in the middle. that I think a bigger magnet will give you. Lastly, the blade difference. You notice on both of these, it has the unnotched blade, which is from the early version of the first version of the Charlie Christian. And then later, people noticed that that B string was just more pronounced and louder than it should be, hence the notch. But interestingly, lap steels understood that even sooner, and you can see variations of lap steel blades, and their magnets are a little bit different, but that is actually cut in half if you couldn't see. But then other even more sophisticated blades to try to get good string balance. This is from another lap steel. It's all kinds of crazy stuff, but the Charlie Christian pickup itself is magical. It's the glassiest, most pronounced, I think, pickup of all. Some say it's a little bit noisy, but you know, this isn't too bad if you get the wiring right. So that's my last point. If any of you have questions or comments, you know, you're trying to experiment with your own, trying to take them out, but you can't take them out, please note the bobbins do come off of these brackets, mounting brackets, so don't try to remove this with the bobbin intact. It's much easier to slip the bobbin off the top gently, remove the bracket, reinsert if you're changing pots or something, and then put the bobbin, slip it back on the top of the blade independently. If you try to take out and put back in the whole thing intact, it's going to probably end up giving you some headaches and chips and different things that you don't want. So, questions, comments, let me know. Happy to share my experience and learn from you as well. Look forward to the next video. Take care.